She forgets she is a wife and a mother, tasting the forbidden fruit with an officer 4 years her junior, and losing herself entirely in this taboo romance. Little does she know that this seemingly scorching passion has already paved her path to hell. She is the most notorious, unfaithful woman in literary history, a figure whose passion and madness, as well as her tragedy and helplessness, were all captured by the pen of Leo Tolstoy. Some call her a traitor who defied moral codes, while others see her as a free spirit, bravely chasing love. But when you truly step into her life, you realize this tragedy, which appeared to be sparked by an affair, was destined the moment she entered a loveless marriage. Let's walk through the life of Anna Karenina and see how this woman, caught in the currents of her time, spent her life chasing a mirage of love only to be crushed by the wheels of society. Anna was born into a prominent Russian aristocratic family with high status, vast connections, and a brother holding a key government position. However, her parents passed away early, leaving her to be raised by her aunt. At the age of 16, under her elders' arrangements, she married Karenin, a high-ranking official 20 years her senior. This marriage brought Anna everything one could envy, including a luxurious life, prestigious social standing, and a stable home. She even bore a son with Karenin. To outsiders, they were a model family, possessing the perfection everyone dreamed of. But beneath this glitzy facade, Anna's soul was slowly withering away. Her husband, Karenin, is a typical politician who pours all his energy into his career. He views marriage as a social obligation and performs his role as a husband with meticulous precision. Yet he lacks any emotional warmth. For someone like Anna, who naturally craves love, this cold and proper marital life gradually turns into a suffocating cage. The turning point of her fate begins with a letter from her brother, Oblonsky. Oblonsky cheated on his wife with the family governess, and after being caught by Dolly, the marriage is on the brink of divorce. To mediate the conflict between her brother and sister-in-law, Anna must leave St. Petersburg and board a train for Moscow. At this moment, she has no clue that this journey will become the pivotal crossroads of her life. On the train, Anna encounters Vronsky, a young and handsome cavalry officer traveling with his mother. When the train stops mid-journey, Anna steps onto the platform for some fresh air, unaware that Vronsky's gaze is already locked onto her. Soon after, she returns to the train.
You have found your son and I have found my brother.
Madame Karenin has a son too. It's the first time they've been apart, so she frets about him.
Excuse me for not recognizing you before.
Just as their eyes meet, a thunderous crash shatters the silence of the platform as a railway worker is crushed by the speeding train and loses his life on the spot. People whispered that the man was the sole provider for his family, leaving behind a wife and 5 children who were waiting for him to return home. Hearing this, Vronsky immediately pulls out a stack of cash and hands it to the station staff, asking them to give it to the worker's family. Standing nearby, Anna witnesses this act of kindness and feels a strange ripple in her heart. This is a feeling she has never experienced with her husband, and this ominous beginning foreshadows the tragic end of their relationship. Upon arriving in Moscow, Anna meets her brother and sister-in-law. With red eyes and a trembling voice, Dolly recounts her husband's betrayal, explaining how her hard work at home was met with infidelity. Yet, looking at her young children, she cannot bring herself to leave, as her identity as a mother has become her shackles. Anna patiently comforts Dolly, urging her to think of the family and the kids.
When I think of them together, I can't forgive him.
So you would rather accept your fate?
My fate? But I haven't done anything. It's him.
Do you love him, Dolly?
You love him and he loves you.
But you can't forgive. So your lives must continue like this forever with both of you wretched.
Perhaps the persuasion works, or perhaps she simply can't let go of the children. But Dolly ultimately chooses to forgive. Seeing them reconcile brings Anna comfort, but she doesn't notice the gears of her own fate are already turning. That evening, Vronsky visits Oblonsky's home at his invitation. It turns out Vronsky is the love interest of Anna's younger sister Kitty and is likely to become her brother-in-law. Listening to the laughter downstairs, Anna's heart begins to race for no reason. Every time her eyes accidentally meet Vronsky's, she hurriedly looks away. She feels like a startled deer is trapped in her chest, with 3 parts resistance and 7 parts longing. She warns herself repeatedly not to catch feelings because Vronsky is the man her sister likes, and she is another man's wife and a mother. A few days later at a grand ball, Anna spots the striking Vronsky in the crowd, looking like a beacon of light in the ballroom. The star of the night was supposed to be the beautifully dressed Kitty, who waited expectantly for Vronsky to ask her to dance. However, the moment Anna enters the room, Vronsky cannot take his eyes off her and walks straight in her direction.
Dance with me.
I'm not used to being spoken to like that by a man I met once at a railway station.
I dare say, but if I'm not to dance with you, then I'm getting out of this operetta and going home.
As the music starts, they embrace and dance. Amidst the shifting steps, their bodies naturally draw closer, their breaths entwine, and the surrounding noise fades into the background. Vronsky's gaze is burning with passion, while Anna's cheeks flush as she loses herself in this sudden heartbeat. Their blatant chemistry is noticed by everyone in the room, including Kitty. Kitty's gaze cuts through Anna like a knife. Startled back to reality, Anna sees Kitty's face filled with rage and realizes she has made a mistake. She frantically pulls away from Vronsky and pushes Kitty toward him. Watching them become the center of attention on the dance floor, Anna feels a sharp pain in her heart. To avoid hurting anyone else and to escape these forbidden feelings, Anna leaves Moscow in the middle of the night. She leans against the window, trying to calm her racing thoughts. However, when the train makes a temporary stop at a small station, a familiar figure appears in the backlit glow.
Why are you leaving Moscow?
What else can I do? I have to be where you are.
Stop, that's enough. Go back to Kitty. This is wrong. You must forget me. If you're a good man, you'll forget everything.
And you? Will you forget?
Yes.
This confession shatters Anna's mental defenses, but her logic tells her she is Karenin's wife and a high society lady who must maintain her dignity. As the train pulls into the St. Petersburg station, Anna thinks this encounter will finally end. But Vronsky actually follows her to this city. Her husband, Karenin, is there to meet her, looking as composed as ever. Anna follows behind him, though her mind is already in complete chaos. From then on, Vronsky begins to appear like a shadow at every social event Anna attends. Whether it's at the skating rink or a concert, he can always be seen in a quiet corner, watching her silently. His persistence leaves Anna with nowhere to run, and whispers begin to circulate through their social circle. As expected, the rumors eventually reach Karenin's ears, but he doesn't explode. Instead, he handles it with his usual cold demeanor. Anna believes she can still hold the line, but when Vronsky tells her that he is being promoted and might be transferred away from St. Petersburg, her heart sinks instantly. The fear of losing him causes her surging love to drown out all reason, and she almost blurts out her feelings.
I don't want you to go.
After returning home, Anna feels a long-lost excitement in her heart. She knows deep down this relationship is doomed, yet she cannot stop herself from sinking further. One day, Anna goes to Vronsky's residence alone. Standing outside the door, she tells herself she is only there to say goodbye. But when the door opens and she sees the smile in Vronsky's eyes, all her logic completely collapses. Vronsky reaches out his hand, and after a brief hesitation, she grips it tightly. From that day forward, they begin a frantic underground affair. Secrets can't stay hidden forever, and eventually, their relationship is exposed to high society, with noblewomen gossiping and branding Anna as shameless. Even so, Karenin continues to maintain the family's appearance of dignity in front of the public. However, Anna becomes pregnant. She nervously breaks the news to Vronsky, expecting him to back away, but to her surprise, he is overjoyed and wants to be with her openly. But Anna refuses. She clings to her current life, wanting the companionship of her son, the status her husband provides, and the passion of Vronsky all at once. This continues until the day of the horse race. From the stands, Anna watches helplessly as Vronsky makes a mistake during the race, causing both man and horse to crash violently to the ground. Anna feels her heart being torn apart and screams in terror, remaining inconsolable no matter how hard Karenin tries to pull her back. Everyone picks up on the truth from her hysterical reaction. Vronsky struggles to his feet and, seeing his horse suffering from severe injuries, despairingly pulls out his pistol to end its pain. On the carriage ride home, the atmosphere is suffocatingly tense. After a long silence, Karenin finally speaks.
You are my wife. I'm wrong to think that.
This time, Anna does not deny it. She looks Karenin straight in the eye and confesses everything, admitting that she loves Vronsky and is his mistress. These words shred the last bit of dignity from their 9-year marriage. Eventually, Anna asks Karenin for a divorce, but Karenin only calmly sets his conditions.
I will not have a scandal. Therefore, you will not see this man again. You will behave in a way that nothing is known against you by society or by the servants. In return, you will keep the privileges of a wife and the duties.
What Karenin cares about isn't the betrayal itself, but whether this scandal will jeopardize his political career. Anna grows weary of this entanglement that is masquerading as a marriage. As her belly grows day by day, her behavior becomes even bolder, eventually leading her to bring Vronsky into her own home. Karenin finally reaches his breaking point, angrily shoving Anna to the floor and uncovering evidence of her affair with Vronsky. He tells Anna that he will grant the divorce, but as the party at fault, she will be permanently barred from seeing their son. Shortly after Karenin slams the door and leaves, he receives a letter from Anna saying her life is fading and begging him to return. Karenin rips the letter to shreds upon reading it, but after a night of reflection, he returns home the following day. Vronsky is sitting by her bedside. Anna has given birth to a daughter prematurely and is now in critical condition after contracting puerperal fever. Lying in bed with a face as pale as paper, she grasps Karenin's hand and tearfully begs for his forgiveness, asking him to make peace with Vronsky. Seeing his once vibrant wife on the brink of passing, Karenin's anger and resentment dissolve into a single sigh. He forgives Vronsky and promises Anna that she can send for her son whenever she wishes to see him. Karenin's magnanimity deeply stings Vronsky, making him feel so ashamed and despicable that he eventually breaks down in tears in Karenin's arms. However, Anna miraculously recovers. The first thing she does after getting well is decide to return to Vronsky's side. Karenin finally chooses to let go, realizing that this is the only way they can all be free. At the cost of her reputation and the custody of her son, Anna leaves St. Petersburg with Vronsky and heads for Italy. 3 months later, Anna returns to Russia. She writes to Karenin, urging him to finalize the divorce papers, with every line of her letter dripping with longing for her son. But Karenin continues to refuse her requests and still won't allow her to visit their son. Upon receiving the reply, Anna loses control and shreds the letter before recklessly storming into Karenin's home. She finds her son, and they hold each other while weeping. This turns out to be the last time she ever sees him. After their brief embrace, Anna is forced to turn and leave, her back heavy with infinite sorrow. After returning to Vronsky, Anna develops an obsession with staying in St. Petersburg, seeing her son, and reclaiming her place on the stage of high society. Vronsky is terrified and tries desperately to stop her, but Anna is dead set on her path. She dresses up to attend social gatherings, only to be met with endless cold stares. In that hypocritical high society, affairs are an unspoken rule, but everyone only dares to keep them in the shadows. Only Anna dares to make her love public, and because she broke the rules, she becomes public enemy number one for the entire elite. People view her as a disgrace and refuse to even sit at the same table as her. Upon hearing these reports, Vronsky's mother is livid and pressures her son to sever ties with Anna. Vronsky refuses his mother and returns to Anna's side. But by this time, Anna has already been worn down by the rumors, becoming extremely sensitive and paranoid, spending her days in a constant state of tears. Having lost her son and her social status, Vronsky is now her only emotional pillar. She cannot bear the thought of losing him. She starts becoming suspicious, fearing that Vronsky will abandon her or obey his mother by marrying some other noble girl. She constantly finds excuses to argue with Vronsky, using sharp words to test the depth of his love. The rift between them continues to grow deeper. Finally, after a heated argument, Vronsky can no longer tolerate this suffocating life. Watching Vronsky leave in a fit of rage, Anna completely breaks down. With her frantic love and jealousy, she has driven away the last person who loved her, destroying the very romance she sacrificed everything for. Anna stands alone by the window, watching the heavy snow fall as her heart turns into a desolate wasteland of silence. She puts on the red dress she wore when she first met Vronsky and begins her journey to the train station. Leaning against the window, memories of meeting and falling in love with Vronsky flash through her mind. As the train arrives, she slowly steps down and walks toward the tracks. She remembers the railway worker crushed by the train and the sound of the gunshot at the horse race. It turns out the seeds of her fate had been sown from the very beginning. She stares at the train speeding toward her from the distance, a hauntingly beautiful smile appearing on her face. Then, she takes the leap to unalive herself. This love, which the world could never accept, finally reaches its heavy conclusion. Some say Anna's tragedy is her own fault, and that she personally destroyed her stable life. Others argue she is a martyr of a hypocritical era, using the most ultimate means to complete her rebellion against society. After watching this story, most people are left with a deep sense of helplessness. Anna's tragedy lies in the fact that she is an idealist who views love as the entire meaning of life, while her environment is a realist cage that forbids such ideals from existing. Her husband, Karenin, is not an evil man. He even demonstrates an extraordinary level of tolerance, but his love is cold and mechanical, built upon the maintenance of social status and appearances. He provides Anna with every material security, but fails to give her the emotional resonance and soul-stirring connection she craves. When Vronsky crashes into her world with passion and romance, he is undoubtedly a fatal oasis for Anna, who has been parched in an emotional desert for too long. However, after Anna dives into this love like a moth to a flame, she discovers that the freedom and true love she sought have ultimately led to another form of bondage. She has lost her son and her social identity, leaving Vronsky as her entire world. This heavy love and extreme insecurity make her unrecognizable and eventually crush the love Vronsky had for her. She declared war on society only to find herself unable to endure the isolation that followed her victory. She pursues pure love, yet she loses this love with her own hands through her own suspicions. She uses her life to tell all women to never gamble their entire existence on love. Love is never the entirety of life, and it is better to become your own sun than to depend on someone else's light. The moment you pin all your hopes for life on another person, you are destined for tragedy. Only by first learning to love yourself and holding on to your boundaries and dignity can you avoid losing yourself in any relationship.